Hi guys, so today we're going to carry on with our book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and today we're going to read two chapters because they're a little bit smaller again. And the first chapter is called The Golden Tickets. Exciting. You mean people are actually going to be allowed to go inside the factory? Cried Grandpa Joe. Read what it says to us quickly. All right, said Mr. Bucket, smoothing up the newspaper. Listen. Evening Bulletin. Mr. Willy Wonka, the confectionery genius, whom no one has seen in the last 10 years, sent out the following notice today. I, Willy Wonka, have decided to allow 5 children, just 5 mind you, and no more, to visit my factory this year. These lucky 5 will be shown around personally by me, and they'll be allowed to see all the secrets and magic of my factory. Then, at the end of the tour, as a special present, all of them will be given enough chocolates and sweets to last them for the rest of their lives. So watch out for the golden tickets. 5 golden tickets have been printed on golden paper, and these 5 golden tickets have been hidden underneath the ordinary wrapping paper of 5 ordinary chocolate bars. These 5 chocolate bars may be anywhere, in any shop, in any street, in any town, in any country in the world, upon any counter where Wonka's sweets are sold. And these 5 lucky finders who find these 5 lucky golden tickets are the only ones who will be allowed to visit my factory and see what it is like now inside. Good luck to you all and happy hunting, signed Willy Wonka. That man's Dotty, muttered Grandma Josephine. He's brilliant, cried Grandpa Joe. He's a magician. Just imagine what will happen now. The whole world will be searching for those golden tickets. Everyone will be buying Wonka's chocolate bars in the hope of finding one. He'll sell more than ever before. Oh, how exciting it would be to find one. And all the chocolate and sweets you could eat for the rest of your life. Free, said Grandpa George. Just imagine that. They'd have to deliver them in a truck, said Grandma Georgina. Makes me quite ill to think it, said Grandma Josephine. Nonsense, said Grandpa Joe. Wouldn't it be something, Charlie, to open a bar of chocolate and see a golden ticket glistening inside? It certainly would, Grandpa, but there isn't any hope, Charlie said sadly. I only get 1 bar of chocolate a year. You never know, darling, said Grandma Georgina. Your birthday's next week. You have as much chance as anyone else. I'm afraid that simply isn't true, said Grandpa George. These kids are going to find the golden tickets. They're the ones who can afford to buy bars of chocolate every day. Our Charlie only gets 1 a year. There isn't a hope. Poor Charlie. Number 6 is called The First 2 Finders. The very next day the first golden ticket was found. The finder was a boy called Augustus Gloop, and Mr. Bucket's evening paper carried a large picture of him on the front page. The picture showed a 9-year-old boy who was so enormously fat he looked as if he'd been blown up by a powerful pump. Great flabby folds of fat bulged out from every part of his body, and his face was like a monstrous ball of dough with 2 small, greedy, curranty eyes peering out upon the world. The town in which Augustus Gloop lived, the newspaper said, had gone wild with excitement over their hero. Flags were flying from all the windows, children had been given a holiday from school, and a parade was being organised in honour of the famous youth. I just knew Augustus would find a golden ticket, said his mother, who had the newspaperman right there. He eats so many bars of chocolate a day, it would be impossible for him not to find one. Eating is his hobby, you know. That's all he's interested in. But still, that's better than being a hooligan and shooting off zip guns and things like that in his spare time, isn't it? And what I always say is, he wouldn't go on eating like he did unless he needed nourishment, would he? It's all the vitamins anyway. What a thrill it would be for him to visit Mr. Wonka's marvellous factory. We're just as proud as anything. What a revolting woman, said Grandma Josephine. And if you look here, you can see Augustus Gloop and his mother. He's got the first golden ticket in his hands. Oh, what a repulsive boy, said Grandma Georgina. Only 4 tickets left, said Grandpa George. I wonder who will get those. And now the whole country, indeed, The whole world seemed suddenly to be caught up in a mad chocolate buying spree. Everyone searching frantically for precious remaining tickets. Fully grown women were going into sweet shops and buying 10 Wonka bars at a time, then tearing the wrappers off on the spot and peering eagerly underneath for a glint of golden paper. Children were taking hammers and smashing their piggy banks and running out of the shops with handfuls of money. In one city, a famous gangster robbed a bank of £1,000 and then spent the whole lot on Wonka bars that same afternoon. And when the police entered his house to arrest him, they found him sitting on the floor amidst mountains of chocolate, ripping off the wrappers with the blade of a long dagger. In far-off Russia, a woman called Charlotte Rousset claimed to have found the second ticket, but it turned out to be a very clever fake. The famous English scientist Professor Foulbody invented a machine which will tell you at once, without opening the wrapper of a bar of chocolate, whether or not there was a golden ticket hidden underneath it. The machine had a mechanical arm that shot out with tremendous force and grabbed hold of anything that had the slightest bit of gold inside it. For a moment, it looked like the answer for everything, but unfortunately, while Professor was showing off the machine to the public at the sweet corner of a large department store, the mechanical arm shot out and made a grab for the gold filling in the back tooth of a duchess who was standing nearby. So she had a filling on her tooth at the back, and the arm's gone and grabbed it. It was an ugly scene, and the machine was smashed by the crowd. Suddenly, on the day before Charlie Bucket's birthday, the newspapers announced the second golden ticket had been found. The lucky person was a small girl called Veruca Salt, who lived with her rich parents in a great city far away. Once again, Mr. Bucket's evening paper carried a big picture. And here we can see Veruca Salt and her parents. She was sitting between her beaming father and mother in the living room of their house, waving the ticket above her head, grinning ear to ear. Veruca's father, Mr. Salt, had eagerly explained to the newspaperman exactly how it was found. "You see, boys," he said, "as soon as my little girl told me she simply had to have one of those golden tickets, I went into the town and started buying up all the Wonka bars I could lay my hands on. Thousands of them. I must have bought hundreds of thousands. Then I had them loaded onto trucks and sent directly to my own factory. I'm in the peanut business, you see, and I've got 100 women working for me all over the place, shelling peanuts for roasting and salting. That's what they do all day long, those women. They sit shelling peanuts. So I says to them, I says, OK, girls, from now on you can stop shelling peanuts and start shelling the wrappers of these chocolate bars instead." And they did. I had every worker in the place yanking the paper off the bars of chocolate, full speed ahead from morning till night. 3 days went by. We had no luck. Oh, it was terrible. My little Veruca got more and more upset each day. Every time I went home, she would scream at me, "Where's my golden ticket? I want my golden ticket." And she would lie for hours on the floor, kicking and yelling in the most disturbing way. Well, I hated to see my little girl feeling unhappy, so I vowed I would keep up the search until I got her what she wanted. Then suddenly, on the evening of the 4th day, one of my women workers yelled, "I've got it, a golden ticket." And I said, "Give it to me quick." And she did. And I rushed it home and gave it to my darling Veruca. Now she's all smiles and we have a happy home once again. "Oh, that's even worse than the fat boy," said Grandma Josephine. She needs a good spanking," said Grandma Georgina. "I don't think the girl's father played quite fair, Grandpa. Do you?" said Charlie. "He spoils her," said Grandpa Joe, "and that's no good. No good can ever come from spoiling a child like that, Charlie. You mark my words." "Come to bed, my darling," said Charlie's mother. "Tomorrow is your birthday, do not forget that. So you'll be up early to open your present." "A Wonka chocolate bar," cried Charlie. "Is it a Wonka chocolate bar?" "It is, isn't it?" "Yes, my love," his mother said. "Of course it is." "Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if I found the third golden ticket inside?" Charlie said. "Bring it in here when you get it," said Grandpa Joe. "Then we can all watch you taking off the wrapper." Also tomorrow we're going to read chapter 7, which is Charlie's birthday. Now I wonder if he's going to find the golden ticket.